Hi, I'm Darren Cox. We're today at the wonderful Larford Lakes, one of the best places for me fishing wise. So varied, so many things you can do, but today I've come just to have a little bit of a play on this beautiful Essential Pellet Waggler rod. Absolutely amazing rod for amazing fishing. Just fairly simple fishing. Pellet Waggler fishing is all about feeding and presentation, and if you can get the feed right, the presentation right, if the fish are up in the water, you can almost guarantee that you're going to catch them. I can't take my eyes off that float now. How many's there now? How many are there? Incredible. We got here, it felt like winter, but it is spring. It's definitely spring, and these fish know it's spring. Got to my peg and all I could see was like them great big things porpoising everywhere. And I couldn't resist, so I thought I've got to set a Pellet Waggler up. And I set this one up, and this is basically the new Essential Legend, which is a 10'4", 11'4" Pellet Waggler, and it's absolutely brilliant. We've been caning these fish, it's been amazing. These fish know they definitely know the winter's gone, the spring's arrived, and that's the kind of fish we've been catching today. It's been absolutely brilliant, and I feel like spring's arrived for me when I start catching on the Pellet Waggler like that. He's a bit big, he is. And this, as I say, we got here, and there just seemed to be a lot more fish movement. I'm going to put him back because he can't go in my net. There's far too many in my net now. So, Mr. Briscoe's here behind me, so I better not put too many in my net. He'll tell me off. But we've caught some lovely fish all day. We've been here with Zach doing some filming. This is his first film for us, and he's caught loads. Really enjoyed it. And I've really enjoyed it as well, but so just to get out in spring, these fish really want some feed. You know, we've been fishing here a lot over winter, and the fish just haven't wanted any feed, but you could see that when they're here, they're moving, and I started pinging some pellets in. Slowly but surely, I saw more and more signs of fish around my feed, so I had a go. We got one pretty much first chuck. But fishing quite deep, and it's often the best way at Larford. Oh, there's another one straight away, look at that. It's the best way at Larford, and sometimes people just fish far too shallow. These fish need to see the bait, and you know, there's a lot of colour in the water at the moment, and you've got to give them a chance to find it. And one of the things there's always been at Larford is you can catch these fish leaving your bait hanging. So where I'm fishing sort of 4.5 foot, and you get that nice slow fall, and oh, it's come off, don't believe it. I think that was a big F1, I've had some huge ones. But so you get that slow fall by fishing a long length like that. I'm just using one of our quick feeder Waggler attachments, just like a little swivel with some stops on, nothing down the line, not a big hook, just a size 16 hook, but a strong hook, MWG, which is a really, really strong hook, and 018 bottom. Using a £5 main line because these fish are big and you've got to push it a bit. When you're fishing in matches, you've got to push it hard. And just using a line with a bit of stretch where I could strike hard. It sinks fairly quickly. Cast out further than I need to. Put some feed in, and if necessary, just draw it back. Just like tweak the line, draw it back. So it's not about catching that instant fish on that instant drop. It's about trying to get that presentation for maybe just 15 seconds. And just, if you can get that presentation, you know, when you get your line under the water, the bait goes in, and that was a bite then. There's a lot of fish there, and that, you know, when a fish has had it, it pulls the pellet off the hook. I've got a really tight band on, but it still pulls the pellet off the hook. So let me just go back to this rod I was talking about. The Essential Legend, lovely slim rod. But one of the amazing things about it, and before I chuck it out, I'll just demonstrate it. Basically, you've got a foot extension that comes out of the butt like that. So if you're fishing on small venues where you only need a short rod, you just use that length, 10 foot 4, and then 11 foot 4. So for today at Larford, when I got a bit of wind, you need that extra length to cast the bigger wagglers, but more importantly, you also need that extra length in the rod to hit the bites. When you've got a little bit of line, bow in your line, you got to pick up quick, because these fish don't sit there and just hang on to it. Especially if there's F1s in your peg, they'll drop it. So constantly casting all the time, and this, you know, the beautiful slim blank just pushes that float out, and you can get slightly smaller floats, just that little bit extra distance. I've just shallowed up a little bit because I had a couple of fish that have foul hooked. Just that little bit, taking about 6 inches off, and I've caught another couple straight away, which is great. But you just got to be careful, because there's with the wind the way it is, it's just, if you take too much depth off, your float's actually skitting, and you don't get that vital presentation. It's, as I've written about it many times in my articles, magazines, it's that 10-second of presentation, especially when you're fishing with a waggler. Just get it right and you get a bite. It's almost, we think these fish are daft. They're not daft by any means. They're so clever. They can see, they just have that little bit time to pick out the bait that looks right. And if one of the things is just keep feeding as well. Keep the fish at that depth, critical depth, and if you can keep them there, then you can catch more and more. And just by feeding once, maybe twice, whilst you're playing these fish, then you can go back out and they're there waiting for you. And that's really important, that is, because in match conditions, if you're one of the only ones that's feeding them properly, you're going to be one of the only ones that's catching them regularly. And they're big old fish, these, they really are. Another beauty. Absolutely wonderful fish. Coming out of winter, they're fighting like mad now. They don't plod around, these fish. Just gonna feed really quickly, because there's that many fish there. It's important to just keep them there, like I said. Keep ticking over. As long as they don't have to find the pellets. All you have to do is make a noise. If you make that noise and they know there's some pellets there, they'll keep looking for them. So it's not a case of every time you feed they find the pellets. That it's that ringing the dinner bell. And the more you get through into summer, the more it applies when there's plenty of colour in the water. And I just get me pellets ready to feed for when I go straight out. Cast, feed, and just tweak my rig, just tweak it a little bit so that the line's slightly straighter, and it doesn't really matter about moving the float a lot of the time. It's about being round the pellets, because they're coming to the noise and they'll be following the pellets up and down the column surface, the depth they want to feed, just to try and find them. And my rig's just about gone out of the zone now. It's gone a bit too far to catch, so back in. It's fast fishing, this is, it's hard work, but it's so rewarding. And this time of year in spring, you can catch, sometimes you can catch more fish on Pellet Waggler in spring than you can in summer, because once they find it, that's it, they're on it. And often the fish are shoaled up quite tightly still after winter. Bait's just gone slightly to the left there, so I'm going to put a bit more in, because I might just still have a few seconds left on my cast. It might just give me time to get one. I tell you, I'm getting more bites now, more indications. I think there's a lot of fish in my peg, and I'm just going to pull that down a bit. So this rod's just beautiful. I used it as in the prototype stage a couple of times last year. Look at that straight away. See that actually heard my float and pellet drop then, because my pellets hadn't even hit the water by the time I got a bite then. It just tells you that they're coming to the noise. So this rod's fantastic. I hadn't used it a great, well, I used it quite a bit, but I hadn't caught masses of fish on it. And I've had a great day today, catching loads and loads of fish. It's one of those days. Often when I come to Larford, you're fishing in matches and you've got anglers all around you. Days like this, you just learn so much about how to catch these fish, because you can do things that you don't necessarily want to do in matches. When you're catching fish in a match, often you can be catching what you think is enough, but so you're not as inclined to tweak things as much if you're getting bites more than others. Like today, I can move my gear around and mess about, and that's, you know, when you've got big matches coming up, it's really important to try and have a few days practice, because catching fish is the best way to practice for sure. You get to learn so much about them. Another good fish. All kinds, all sizes of fish. There's just so many fish there today. I don't want to pack up. They'll be making me pack up in a minute, and I don't want to do it. So just take your time, especially when you get into the net. Just take your time, because every fish, there's such good fish. Every fish is worth putting in the net. And just all those lunges, they're just there's a bit of backbone in the rod, but it's just lovely and forgiving in the top and middle. Great for casting and great for playing fish. I wanted to feed again really, but this one's it's coming, but still fighting short. I'll just get me pellets ready for next chuck. feels like another good fish. He's nearly there. Not quite giving him, but he's nearly there. They are so fit. I know that the river comes in quite a bit into the lake over winter. I'm convinced that it does the lake some good. It just seems to give the fish a bit of extra fresh water and clean it out. I know it's hard work for the fishery and the management, but there's just something about this extra water that comes in out the river that spruces the fishing up, makes them feed, changes the venue as well a lot. The skimmers at the moment are absolutely thriving. Well, they're not skimmers anymore, they're bream. Come on. Right, this time. I'm just taking my time a bit because I've lost a couple, just being a bit too aggressive with them. But he's a big one, this one, so just to give him a bit of respect. That's him now, that's him. He's not one of the old warriors, this one. Nice day's fishing. Another Larford lump. Well, this is going to have to be my last fish, but what a fantastic day I've had. Really enjoyed myself today. Putting this new rod through its paces, blowing the cobwebs off me pellet waggler fishing, because I'm going to hopefully have a good season of pellet waggler fishing and bomb fishing and feeder fishing. And it's just that nice little practice that catch loads and loads of fish. It makes you feel like you're actually back in the race with it. You got a bit of a stealer march. It's early in spring, and that is unfortunately going to be my last fish today. But what a great day's fishing, and hopefully a few little tips that you've learned about my pellet waggler fishing. And if you've enjoyed this little video, there's plenty more on the Garbolino YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you again on the bank soon.